Alright, so now we're going to give you a quick tutorial on how every single piece of equipment works. The first thing to note, the most important thing to note, is that the cameras and lights are all set for the windows to be closed. They're only really open if you're just here hanging out or you're not recording video. So yes, here's a view, but we're gonna close them. It's important to note when you're closing the windows, make sure it's fully closed. If you have it like this, or even the slightest bit, like give me an example, like that, with a little light coming through, let me show you what's gonna happen here. The cameras are gonna pick that up, and you don't want that. You see that? This is 4K. So make sure the windows are fully closed, especially this one behind the table. So make sure it's nice and overlapped. There you go. That is a nice, clean, closed window. And here you can see on camera. Now, we're gonna start with putting in your SD cards. When you get here, the table should look pretty much like this, and we would just ask that when you leave, you put it back like this. So, however many microphones you're using, if you only need one microphone or two microphones or three, whatever, the ones you're not using, just grab them and just put them down on the floor like so. Same with the headset, it's fine, put it right on down on the floor. Our Sandy wipes are over here on our water cooler. So we have 2 packs of medical grade Sandy wipes. We keep on deck. If you make a spill, here's a vacuum. And here are gloves, because you don't want to touch the Sandy wipes with your plain hands. We do have headset covers if you want. They just go right over each earmuff. Okay. And here are going to be your SD cards. They most likely will be already in the cameras, but if you bring your own, you're going to need a full-size SD card for each camera. We do have a third camera if you need it. It's over here in this corner. And these are all Sony A6400s. They shoot 4K. All right. So the third camera, you'll just get it and set it up just like you're setting all of these up. Our cameras are plugged into dummy batteries so they don't die. And it's important to note that under here, you might gotta move it out of the way a little bit, but where the cord comes from for the battery, there's a little latch. See that? You just push it, the door opens, and there's this little hole for this cord to stick out through. That is where your SD card goes. So you take it, the shiny side, it's gonna face you, shiny side up, and it should click into place. There you go. Now, on the camera, it's blank. If you press up on this ring here, it's gonna change the display. So there you go. Now it's showing us how much record time we have. This camera SD card has 7 hours and 54 minutes on it. And you notice it went blank. That's because if you block this, it thinks you're looking through there. So just make sure you uncover it, and there you go. Important things to note, to focus the lens, this is the shutter button. Don't hold it all the way, hold it halfway down. So point it to where you want it, usually at the other camera, and hold it halfway down. Halfway, there you go. So that green box, that means it's focused. This is in autofocus. Hit that green box, it's gonna focus. If it's ever in manual focus or those green lines don't show up, you will rotate the camera lens until you notice you'll see these red little flares pop up. It should be in manual, in autofocus though. So hold this halfway, you're gonna get that line. That means you're in focus, and it should not move as long as the camera doesn't move or the mic doesn't move. So once you focus it, leave it alone. If you move it, focus it again. They're the same cameras, you're gonna do it over here. And just so you are aware of the specs needed for your SD card, you need to make sure, number one, that it has enough space. Okay, so this is a 256. If I could get it to focus. Focus on my 256. There we go. This is a 256 SanDisk Extreme. And you'll see on it, it says, well, this doesn't have much information on it, but you want to make sure your SD card is at least a class 10. I wish I had a bigger one to show you, and it needs to write at a pretty fast write speed. So I like to suggest a write speed of at least 150 gigs per second. If it's too slow, the camera is not going to function well on it. Ooh, drop my little camera. Okay, now let's just, for good measure, put this SD card in this one. And just the same, if you're using 3 cameras, you're just gonna put the SD card in that other one just like this. So remember, you're gonna press up to change the display. And there you go, this one has 7 hours 54 minutes. And then you hold it halfway, and that's gonna focus it. So if you look at the screen, you may think it's too dark. Here's a quick overview of our camera settings. These are on manual. So here are your settings. This is your shutter, your frame rate, 1/50. It's taking 50 basically pictures every second. The f-stop and the ISO. So first thing, this wheel right here. This one, not the one with the letters on it, this one. You wanna make sure you're in movie mode, by the way. That's movie mode. This wheel, I'm gonna rotate it to change the f-stop, so watch this. See that? So I like to keep it between 5 and 5.6. And what that is doing, if you see, the lower I put it, the brighter it gets. The higher I put it, the darker it gets. What that means is the lower number, that's the lens itself opening up. So more light is gonna come into it. The higher number, that's the lens kind of squinting down, focusing. So you want a kind of higher number, just so, especially if you have multiple people. I found that the focus range is higher on these higher numbers, but you need more light. So 5.6 seems to be that sweet spot if there are 2 guests, because if you look, it's kind of angled. So one person is further away and it's only gonna focus on one thing. So if I hold it halfway, now it's focused on both microphones, which is likely where my guest is gonna be sitting. So if you think that's too dark though, the next thing, we just did this, the f-stop. The next thing we're gonna adjust is the ISO. The ISO is artificial light. And you see this button here, it says ISO. So let's press it to the right. Sorry, I just rolled it. So if you press it to the right, it's gonna show you the ISO. My sweet spot is between 1000 and 1250. If you have the f-stop higher, then you might need to go a little higher. If you have the f-stop lower, you may need less artificial light. The third variable is if this light is brighter, then you obviously need less artificial light. So the risk is if the ISO is too high, you get this really grainy footage. I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty grainy. So the sweet spot, 1250, 1000. As you see, 1250 is brighter because that's more artificial light. 1000 is darker. It makes the wall kind of disappear behind there. So you want that sweet spot. So because the f-stop is higher, we're gonna go with a higher ISO, but 1250 is the perfect thing that's not too high. And you're gonna do the same thing on this camera over here, but it's okay if you have slightly different settings, because this big light, you can turn it and swing it. So if it's pointed more on one side, that person's gonna need less light. Just the same if someone is closer, sitting closer into the table, they're gonna have more light. So here's an example. So I'm pretty far from the table, and as I get closer to the table, I light up. Just the same, this light has diffusion. So these little things block the light from getting too far out. So if I sit right in front of the light, I'm gonna show you, I'm coming around here. If I sit right in front of the light, well now it's pretty harsh on me because I got all this too. And these are gonna be like your hair lights. So if someone has waves or something, see that the hair light is what's gonna make that look good. So these you can honestly just leave them all alone. If you do need more or less light, this remote is gonna let you control it. So you hit set, that 4100 is flashing. That's also what the white balance is set to on this camera, so they identify the same amount of, the same temperature of white that this shoots out. If you want it warmer, you make sure that 4100 is flashing. And if I'm not saying, I think you want to go down actually. So the lower number is gonna give you warmer white. So you see that? It was on 41, now it's on 25. Now let's turn it all the way up to the other side. So now we went all the way up to, we went up there, 10,000. Look at that. See how pure white that is? So this replicates the colors of the sun. Do you want an afternoon vibe, a winter vibe, a daytime vibe, an early morning? But as we know, the natural color of white that I like for in here is around 4100 Kelvin. Okay. Now, 2, 1, boom. That is our natural light, what we like. So when it comes to white balancing, this is a bit advanced, but if you ever needed to, you hit setting menu, and you're just gonna look through the settings for white balance, honestly. Let's see. White balance, perfect. It's in auto. But you see how it's kind of changing the essence of white? We can actually go into manual because we know exactly what it's set to and change it to 4100. How do we do that? Is an interesting question. Okay, so click custom, no, white balance, over, we're gonna set it. Okay, so auto is when you take a picture of something gray. We're gonna cut out this white balancing part. All right, don't worry about white balancing. All right, so white balance. Oh, is that what we need? This one, temperature filter, perfect. So if you're gonna white balance it, white balance, and you see how it's changing. This is auto, so that's a pretty good indication of what it should look like. But you see I can make it warmer just through settings, but for best results, you want it to match the actual lighting. So this one, custom filter, and it's already set to 4100. So the camera is set to 4100, the light is set to 4100. It's pretty clear that 4100 is the temperature of white in here. So let's do the same thing on this camera. White balance, temperature 4100. You're good. So if you bring in a new camera, just know this is the color of white you want to adjust your white balance to. That's the best way to do it. You can use a gray card and take a picture of gray, yes, but honestly, it's probably gonna be set already when you get here. You do not need to do that. It's just if you come in and your color looks off, that's the first thing you wanna check. Is the lighting set to the right color? Is the white balance set to the right color? Now, you'll notice the SD card is in, the cord is out, but you can't leave this door open. The battery will come out and it'll turn off on you. So you flap it and then the cord fits through this little divot here, and when it's up, you slide it back and now it's locked into place. Let's do the same thing on the other camera because it's the same. I already did it, but I'm gonna show it to you. See how I just turned off? Because the battery came out a little. So this little flap, stick it through, lock it into place. And you just hold the shutter button halfway and that'll wake it right back up. Just the same, this is the on-off switch if it's ever off. All right. These lenses do not zoom in. They're fixed wide angle lenses. They are, so how we do it is when we're editing, we just have to zoom it in or crop it in. So just place the camera where it fits the subject and looks good. And here we are. So now let's do the audio. So that's it for the cameras. They're ready to go. The audio, you're gonna need a micro SD card. You don't need to worry too much about the size or quality of the micro SD card. I mean, obviously you want at least like 8 gigs or 10 gigs just because it can be a large audio file. Press it in, it clicks into place. Let me just show you one more time which direction it goes. So you'll see it says micro SD. This is the shiny side down, and it clicks into place. And the record button turns green. So when the SD card is out, it's blue. It's not ready to record. When it's in, it's green. It's ready to record. And it shows you how much time is left on there. Okay? So if you put in a new SD card, it's gonna ask you to format it. If I slide to format, that's gonna erase everything on this card. So be sure nothing's important on it when you need it. If you need to replay your audio you just recorded, hit the settings button, hit podcast, and this is my last recording. You can play it back, but keep in mind it's gonna be in the headsets somewhere in the mic.
This is where I come in as a Broward chair.
Okay. So
like, if they find out you,
we're gonna stop and go back home. These sliders all adjust the mic volume. So how I like to do it, because the microphones all get kind of mixed around, and there's actually one on the floor still. So when you're done, if you can please put it back up. Boom. Boom, and wipe your headsets. Okay, so how I identify the microphones, mics 1, 2, 3, and 4. I turn them all up halfway, honestly. And then I'll pick the ones I'm gonna use. So I wanna use this one. I'm gonna snap into it. And you'll see one slider is louder than the others. So I'm pretty sure this is mic 4. So I'm gonna slide it up a bit because I know I'm using that. Now over here, let's just say I'm using this one. Look at that. Now number 1 is the most moving. So this is mic 1. So I don't need 2 and 3. So that's 4, that's 1. We're gonna put these on the floor. We don't need them. We're not gonna use them. This is all I need. And then it's best to center it and then move the chair over. The headsets are optional. You will need to wear them to dial in your microphone. So just put them on talk directly into the mic at about this distance. If you're too far back, this mic is designed to block out background noise, so it'll try to ignore you. So you don't talk about this close into the mic. You can hold it, you can move it around. If you sit back, bring it with you. If you move forward, it's okay if it's a little further away. So just find that happy medium. You will notice it may sound clear, but it might be too loud for you. Well, instead of lowering the gain and having the audio suffer in a quality sacrifice, you can just come right here, and these are the headset volumes. So you can just turn the volume down without sacrificing quality. So I'm talking into this microphone, and you see it's recognizing my voice. And I'm gonna give you this headset so you can kind of hear. I don't know if you can hear that, but you should hear my voice pretty prominently in this headset as I speak. So the other things to note, these are just listening buttons, don't worry about that. This button right here, you press it, it's gonna start flashing, and you can connect your phone to this setup with Bluetooth. So I'm gonna open my phone, go to my Bluetooth settings. Ooh, I can't type. Bluetooth settings. There we go. And we're looking for Rodecaster Pro. See that? Rodecaster Pro. It's gonna connect. It's no longer flashing. And now this slider is now my phone. So if I wanted to come in here and play music, right? Let's see here now. What can we play that's appropriate? Okay, Billy Paul. So if I want to play some Billy Paul, me and Mrs. Jones, I hit it. And you notice my phone's playing music, but I don't hear it. All right. Oh, it's not. Okay, so you hit it. There we go. It's loud, but it's not from my phone. Let's turn it down. Okay, so you see, it's quiet. It's not from my phone. It's in the headset. So just the same, whatever my phone does, this is now gonna record. If I'm on a phone call, I'm gonna hear my caller in the headset and talk to them in the microphone. All right, so just keep in mind, if you have this connected and you're not recording, either turn it down or hit the mute button. And when you're ready, unmute. So you may like to use this by calling your person in advance and just have them on hold, so just mute them. So they're waiting for you to introduce them, so you don't have to call them mid-show. That way, when you're ready for them, unmute, bring in your caller, play your intro music, fade in, fade out. Okay, so you pause it, and you can disconnect if you wanted to. So unpair. There you go. Handled. Now, this slider with all these colors, these are sound effects. You can record your own. If you hit the sound effect button, there's multiple pages, and you see a couple of them are blank. So if I hit a blank one, you can pick a color and then record. So let's record one real quick. I'm gonna hit the record button. It's gonna start counting. I'm gonna say what I wanna say. Book my studio. And then we stop. Now, our sound effect is ready. Let's listen to it. Book my studio. Okay? So now every time I hit this blue button, it should say my sound effect. Book my studio. Let's hit it again. Book my studio. There we go. So I can keep it, or I can just delete it and clear it because it didn't work out. Now it's gone. All right, and that's sound effects. That is really it for this. The audio is very simple. When I'm ready to record, I'm gonna hit record, boom, and now it's counting down to let me know how long I've been recording for. And I'm just gonna talk right into this mic, and there it is. I'm having a podcast. I'm podcasting. This is it. Your guest over there talking to you, you're talking to your guest, and you just wanna make sure you do a sound check. That's it. Let's stop recording. It turns back green because it's ready. I hit settings, I hit podcast, and if I wanted to listen to it. And now it's counting down to let me know how long I've been recording for. And I'm just gonna talk right into this mic. That sounds good. So I know that session went well. I can delete it though right from here and save the space on my SD card. And that's it. And when I'm done, I stop recording. It's green, meaning it's ready. I'm gonna click it in and take my SD card back if this is yours. If it's ours, just leave it. I'm gonna open up this camera click in and take this SD card back. And I'm gonna come to this camera, open the flap, and take this SD card back. There we go. If you're not recording, it's okay to leave the door open. But if you're recording, please close the door of the camera. Now, I mean, honestly, I feel like we covered majority of it. As you see, the lighting is very user-friendly. It's very comfortable. And here are just little advanced things. We do have a live stream switcher, and you would just connect it all. Honestly, everything you need is here. We have these HDMI to micro HDMI connectors. We have USB-Cs. We have power cables, everything you need to connect this switcher. If you ever need to use it, we will walk you through the setup independently. But as you see right here, you can put 4 inputs, so you can put in the 3 cameras and we can plug in your laptop. HDMI out, we can send it over to this TV so you can observe. And how this works is, as we're recording, someone's sitting here, either our cinematographer, or you can bring your own guest or whoever you want, and just switching back and forth to show who's talking at the moment. If you're showing on the computer, hit whichever input the computer's plugged into, it's gonna show your computer screen. It's gonna record it and give you a finished video in 1080p. While it's doing that, we can have the camera still record a 4K backup file, and that one can be edited and given to you in a higher quality. But this one is for if you wanna do a live stream, a webcam, a webinar, or just have your video ready to upload today. Like same day, this will give you a same day file recorded onto this external hard drive. So, outside of that, this is our little toolbox. It's a cluster right now. I'm gonna organize it, but any little random things you may need, right here is where we keep our extra SD cards. So if you're gonna create more, I highly suggest getting something like this to keep your SD cards organized. But we try to be well equipped, and ready to go to serve you whatever your needs are. If you need to use the additional microphones, because the Rodecaster Pro only supports 4, I have to find my Zoom H6. Boom, this guy. We will have to bring out this guy. This is a Zoom H6. As you see, it has 4 more microphone inputs, and we plug this into the Rodecaster Pro here as if it were a phone. So you will need to bring up the phone slider. So now that that's going on, you come back to the Zoom H6 and you want to turn on however many microphones you're using, and you're gonna adjust these gains here on these sliders. So if you're ever using this, 8 is always gonna be more than likely too high of a gain. These little red lights you can't see now, when they're flashing, it's telling you that it's distorting. So you got a lot going on using this, because this is its own processor. Then you have this thing processing it again, plus the headset volume. So it's really tricky to get your sound right. So I like around 7. Listen to it and make sure it sounds good. Have this about this high. I would say like this about like 70 to 80% of the way up. And just make sure that it sounds clean and crispy, because this is gonna do a great job of processing. You're using these Shure MV7 mics, which are gonna do a great job of processing. And I keep the extra ones right here in this corner, like they're ready to go, okay? So sky's the limit with the content we can produce here for you. We're easy to use. We operate as an Airbnb. We do have a full studio tour video you can watch, but here's another walk around just so you can fully see the space. Let me put these mics back so you can see how it goes on here. Okay, this is what you're getting. So you'll notice there's no logos anywhere. There's no branding, because we want you to feel at home. Whatever your brand is, we want you to come in, and this is your studio. So everyone's going to get their own personal access code, and it's very low key. We do have cameras, and it doesn't say podcast studio, so people are knocking on the door, disturbing, you know? You come in, you want to know this is here. We got your little director's chairs for your guest. We have water and medical grade Sony wipes again. Really important that we get keep the equipment clean. You're welcome to enjoy the view. You're welcome to just come in, and if you need to edit, whatever you need to do. Voiceovers, we're a full service studio. We're your full media team, and I'm happy to help. If you ever get hot, the building AC is always on, but we do have an additional AC because some people have, a good amount of people here. And VIP parking, members only, right there. You have to be a tenant of the building. So you can book this hourly. If you just need audio, if you just need a full video, it's $70 an hour for just audio recordings. You know, I'm not gonna mention pricing. The biggest thing we have to offer is our monthly membership subscription, starting at $250 a month. $250 a month on auto pay. That gets you 6 hours a month. You cannot beat this deal anywhere. We will send a cinematographer here to set you up professionally, or if you come here enough, we're teaching you how all this works now. You can set yourself up. It's just a $25 add-on for the cinematographer to come in, and we'll pay the rest of their fee. If you need them to stay the whole session, we can arrange that as well. We offer editing services. Whatever you need, however much or little we can help, we are here for you. And we also do on-location recordings. We will bring this setup to you. And if ever needed, if these mics don't suit your needs, we use these more so in our on-location shoots, but we do have the wireless mics, which we can wire up to your shirt and hook it up that way, and that will also connect. We'll just unplug one of these and connect it right in there. So we got you covered. We're the go-to place. I've taught you camera settings. These lenses do not zoom in and out. If it's ever not on autofocus, you will rotate this to do manual focus. You're gonna see it clear up in there. And again, these lenses don't zoom in and out. They're fixed lenses, they're wide angles, so you'd have to put the camera closer or further, or in editing, we can crop it in and out. So the avclubstudios.com. Follow us on Instagram, the AV Club Podcast Studios. And I'm Khalid Bryan. I'm the owner and broker associate team lead of the Investment Property Gurus Solutions Group. This is our official podcast studio, but we rent it out to you to make sure that you can get all your content needs handled. Another big thing, right here, you can bring your sign, bring your logo. A lot of people put their neon signs right there, and you'll see you can either hook it, you can plug it in right there, you can hook it, you can drill it between the panels, not through, or we have a bunch of hooks up in the ceiling there. All right, so this is our big Godox light. We got 4 hair lights up here. And if you ever need it, if you ever wanted to do a more dramatic shoot, we got the light, boom, and that just gives you a whole nother dramatic feel, as you can see, the overhead. So whatever you need, whatever you can vision, we will keep you inspired and keep you consistent. So however I can help, call or ask us any questions at 954-667-3617. Here's one more tour with all the lights on, but again, make sure these lights are not on during recording. That is the, oh, look at that, look at the difference. Bam. You'll see how the light doesn't escape. We're the place you want to be, the AV Club Podcast Studios. Now before I go, I don't think I showed you how to actually record. So when the cameras are on, you like how they're set up, you like how they look, it's beautiful, it's perfect. There's a little tiny red button on each camera. You're gonna hit it. You heard that sound? You see a little RAC? Oh, and it's counting. That means it's recording. It turns off because if you block the viewfinder, it thinks you're looking through it. So if you just uncover it, you're good to go. Hit it again, stand by, you're good, you're done recording, you're ready to go. Stop recording. Be sure to record and start recording on each camera you're using plus the audio. Please, do not do a full show and realize you didn't record it. This is not Davis, you're gonna have a bad time. So make sure you have a good time and get recorded, or just let us know you would like assistance. So I think that's it. That is it. I'm gonna reset. There we go. Welcome to the AV Club. Come on down. I hope this is your new home studio. And of course, don't forget the view. Sunny, sunshiny Fort Lauderdale. And disclaimer, if you ever come to record during the Fort Lauderdale Air Show, it literally occurs right there because that's the beach. So there's gonna be like Blue Angels and stealth bombers and all kind of crap flying around the window. So it's very loud. You're not gonna have the best podcast during the air show. So keep that in mind. There you go. Book soon. And just real quick, one major troubleshooting thing that a lot of people encounter. Sometimes you'll pick up a headset and things are moving, but you can't hear. Sometimes if you look, these headsets are all in extenders, and sometimes it's as simple of it just got unplugged. So if you just come here and check these guys out, it's likely the headset you're trying to use is just unplugged. and you can either go under the table and probably find it. As you see, here's one right here that's not plugged in, but it's okay because honestly, just switch headsets. They're all gonna hear the exact same thing. So you can just grab another one. Again, you don't need to wear it as long as you can counter yourself to talk into the mic. They're just so you can hear something's going wrong, honestly. Let's turn this back to the page that was on. There we go. And there we go. We're back. Good to go. If you want to turn it off or on, this red button. Done deal. Let's go. The AV Club. If you ever come in, do not erase somebody's footage. You don't know if we need it or not. All right. One last walk around. One last look. See. There you go.